no opening statements from us. You just, it's your show.
Okay, and I'll let Kisa just kind of start out from the DHS perspective.
And I will be very brief, and we definitely want to be cognizant of the time. I am just here with Mischa, as many of you all know, because we've had various conversations. My role is being Deputy Director over our Children and Family related divisions. And so many of you all have expressed over the past couple of years sincere concern about the rising number of children that we have in the foster care system, and wanting to look at what exactly was causing that rise. And when Director Gillespie came aboard and came to our agency, she was extremely concerned about the foster care system as well, because of her conversations with the governor. And so we convened what everyone now knows to be what we call the Foster Care War Room. It started back in May, where we were meeting 3 times a week, specifically on the subject of our foster care system and what we could do to improve it. And the takeaway from the very beginning was that this was no longer going to be a burden that the Division of Children and Family Services dealt with alone, that this was going to now become a DHS goal and something that we all focused on, and all of the divisions have played a role in the report that Mischa is going to present to you today. So I just wanted the committee to be aware of the work that we have done and the fact that we are taking this as a DHS goal from this point moving forward. And I'll turn it over to Mischa.
So thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present our report today. To pick up on where Ms. Smith left off, we began our work in April. I came in about a month after Director Gillespie came in and immediately began to look at the DCFS issues from a system-wide perspective. And so we have begun much of the work that's in our report. I hope that you've been provided a copy of that report. We have already begun much of that work, but many of those items that I will be discussing will be ongoing. And I just want to begin by saying this really is just the first step in the child welfare process of beginning to improve our system. There's lots of issues. We have a project plan that we're working from, and I think at this point we're at like around 50 projects that we're trying to monitor and improve on, and that's really just the beginning. So I'd like to start by using a quote from the Paul Vincent report, because as many of you know, this child welfare transformation really began right after the governor took office and asked for Paul Vincent, who's a national expert, to come in and look at the Arkansas child welfare system. He presented a report, and as part of that report, he made this statement: "The challenges faced by the Arkansas child welfare system are so great that DCFS alone cannot solve them. However, it does have many partners in the public and private sector who would be happy to have a role in improving child and family outcomes." And I'd like to just thank all of our partners, including you all, who have come to the table, brought many cases to my attention, to others' attentions, so that we not only can look at case-specific cases and try and solve those problems, but also address system issues, because we are taking a two-tiered approach to this. Beginning at looking at the 3 buckets that we started with, as one of the first things we did ask Hornby Zeller, who's here today, to look at the increased number of children in foster care, and you will hear from them in just a few minutes on what they found as part of their report. That was one piece of our overall project to look at the child welfare system. And what you'll see from our report is that suggestions, improvements, and projects are broken down into 3 categories: strengthening families, strengthening foster care system for the children who need it, and then strengthening our workforce and capacity. So we have many projects, and I'll walk through some of the highlights of those projects in each of the categories and kind of give you a feel for which projects are already ongoing and which ones will be the focus in the next few months. I like to say that we were able to really begin the placement and strengthening foster care as the first phase when I came in the door. So we were able to utilize some resources that we currently had, do some restructuring at central office, so there was more accountability and oversight when it came to children that are currently in foster care and ensuring that they are in the right types of placements. We value children being placed in their community and also with their siblings. How we had been operating in the past was really under crisis, because we are and were in crisis. And when you're in crisis and operating in crisis, you find the first available placement for the child that you can find. And I said, you guys, we've got to put some emphasis on this, figure out how we can get children in the most appropriate placement for them. So I'm going to, instead of starting with strengthening families, even though that is a huge focus moving forward, what we were able to do, what we were able to start on and make some huge impact was really on that strengthening foster care. So you've heard me mention we did restructuring at central office. So everyone at a central office level who does anything with placement answers to one assistant director, Becky Dunnigan. Immediately began to streamline the foster parent process. Are we perfect in that right now? Absolutely not, but we're getting there. We're looking at it. We are working with foster parents. Increasing the number of foster parents is absolutely a #1 priority, and working with our partners to do that. We were able to